Our wedding day was a dream. It was filled with soft white flowers and happy laughter. But just 2 short weeks later, my wife Olivia told me something surprising. She said she needed to find closure with her old boyfriend before we could move forward. I chose to trust her. Newlyweds should not start their journey with seeds of doubt. She promised it would be a quick talk over coffee at a shop near her house. She called a final goodbye to the past. But that promise was broken. Instead of an hour, she disappeared for the whole weekend. I sat by my phone for many long hours, watching the clock tick, but the screen stayed dark. I made dinner and watched it get cold. I felt a cold shiver down my spine as the night grew late and quiet. When she finally returned on Sunday, her excuses changed every few minutes. The guilt in her eyes spoke louder than her words. I knew our marriage was broken. Olivia said nothing happened, but her answers led to more questions. Her phone had a new password. She avoided my gaze and got angry over tiny things. I did not want to accuse her without proof, so I just watched. A few days later, a friend mentioned something by accident. They talked about seeing Olivia and her ex-boyfriend checking into a hotel by the lake together. They spoke casually, not knowing it would break my heart. My heart sank, but my mind became very clear. I knew I could spend months chasing the truth, or just accept the facts right in front of me. That evening, I asked her one final question. Were you within that weekend? Olivia stared at me for several seconds before she whispered, "It was a mistake." Those 4 words confirmed every fear I had. She admitted the meeting had turned into an affair. She claimed she wanted to know if she had truly moved on before committing to our future. Hearing that explanation hurt more than the actual cheating. We had already made promises. She was a wife who had already chosen a husband. She walked away from that promise only 14 days later. I did not scream. I quietly went to the bedroom, packed a small blue suitcase with my favorite clothes, and moved into a tiny apartment. I felt so alone in that new empty space during those first few nights. Over the next few weeks, I met with a lawyer to start ending a marriage that had barely even started. Olivia said she was sorry every day. She called me and wrote long letters by hand. She promised she would spend the rest of her life trying to earn back my trust. I read every letter, but I never fought with her. To me, the affair was a choice made after we already said our vows. That truth was never going to change, no matter how heartfelt her letters became. Months passed, and our divorce was finished. I took a promotion that required me to move across the country. I needed a fresh start in a new city where no one knew my name. I focused on my career, my family, and a peaceful routine. One evening, almost a year after our wedding, my phone lit up with her name. Her voice was shaking as she whispered, "I have made the biggest mistake of my life. Please give me one more chance." I took a slow breath. "Olivia, I am not angry anymore," I said, "but the man you want a second chance from does not exist anymore." She started crying, saying she had stopped all contact with her ex. When she finished, I said, "You asked for a second chance after losing me. I asked for loyalty before losing us." She finally understood that being sorry does not fix everything. She asked if we could meet one last time at the quiet cafe where we had celebrated our engagement. I agreed. The coffee shop smelled like roasted beans and old memories when I walked in. She looked very tired and carried so much sad regret. "I wish I could go back to those first 2 weeks," she whispered. I told her I did too. She reached out to touch my hand, but I gently pulled away. I could forgive her for the pain, but I could no longer build the trust again. Before I left, Olivia asked if anything could have been done differently after the affair to save us. I told her the truth. The time to save us was not after betrayal. It was before it happened. Tears filled her eyes because she knew I was right. Some mistakes can be fixed, but others change the way 2 people see each other forever. Walking away was not about being mean. It was about accepting that love without trust is just a memory. That was a painful truth for both of us to carry as we finally went our separate ways. Years later, I hear from friends that Olivia still regrets her choices. Hearing that does not make me happy. My life has moved on. I have a peaceful future now with people who value being honest. I realize now that I did not lose my marriage because of one weekend. I lost it when our promises stopped meaning the same thing to both of us. Today, I tell people that healing started when I stopped waiting for her to be the person I needed. I chose to value my own heart and my own peace of mind above all else. Sometimes a hard goodbye is the healthiest choice. It is not that love leaves. It is that self-respect becomes stronger than the hope that a person who broke your heart will suddenly change into someone they are not. That is the only real way to truly find peace in life now again for the rest of my days on this earth and in my world.